We are well into the offseason here, and that means it is time to start looking at what you guys should be doing to prep for the offseason. So we're bringing back 5 moves to make. Obviously, it's not a week-by-week thing anymore, so we're talking 5 overarching things you should do to help set up your team for success in 2023. Now, before we get into it, guys, if you have not heard, we have YouTube memberships now for this DLF channel. There's a couple of tiers there, but the main tier that you're going to care about, what we call the bonus content tier, it is $7 a month. You guys are going to get 2 additional videos and 2 additional live streams every single month, right? We're not changing how often we release content here. That is still going to be, 4 to 5 videos a week. No change. But if you like it so much that you want to see more of us, check that out, guys. Join the membership for DLF. Move number 1 you can make this offseason, and I think it's probably the most important thing you can do in Dynasty. Be honest and determine, are you contending? Are you rebuilding? What is your team's actual status in this offseason, and where are you trying to get to in 2023? You need to be very real with yourself, right? If you just finished last, you probably shouldn't be trading for veteran players, right? You shouldn't be trading for running backs. Instead, you should be going out and finding young wide receivers and guys that fit your team's timeline. Evaluate all of your teams and say, okay, I'm a rebuilder, but we're getting close. So maybe I should make some win now moves to expedite that timeline. Or did you just miss the playoffs, but your team's old and it's getting worse? Okay, well, it's time to go and do a full teardown, right? These are the things you need to be very honest with yourself. And honestly, look at the other teams. Figure out what other teams are trying to do as well, right? If you can identify rosters that basically are the inverse of yours, so teams that are going the wrong way while you're coming up, those are trade partners, right? Those are the types of teams you look for to make the most equitable deal for everybody. And obviously, it's going to be easier to trade if you're both trying to accomplish different things, but you have pieces that match. And that kind of leads us into move number 2 here, and that is identify trade targets. Obviously, look at your roster and say, okay, who do I want off my team by the start of the season? And I say that because you don't need to make all of your moves in January and February, guys. You want to look at your team, say, all right, who am I keeping? Who am I getting rid of? On top of that, look at the other teams like we just talked about. Who's going the opposite way? What players do they have that could benefit your roster? A team out there that is not going to be contending anytime soon, and you're a piece away. Say they have DeAndre Hopkins. That's a good win now trade target, right? They have Austin Eckler. They have CMC. They have these other aging players that don't fit their timeline, but fit yours. Those are now viable trade targets that make a lot of sense for both of you. And again, that's the easiest way to get a trade done. I know a lot of people will say, well, I don't care if the other team wins, but you need to care enough because they need to feel like they're winning as well. So that is what makes those trades a little bit easier. Identify teams and the players on their teams that you want to now bring onto your roster. Move number 3, and I think this one's more obvious than ever now, capitalize on running back value. The way the NFL is shifting, the way Dynasty fantasy football is shifting, you cannot build the core of your team on running backs. You just can't. So you need to be looking to trade off running backs that have a ton of uncertainty around their position. Older running backs, guys that are not guaranteed to have roles in 1 to 2 years. Like, I'm moving guys like Austin Eckler, CMC, Barkley, all these other running backs that are good, like very good players. But if I can go ship them for top tier wide receivers, guys with higher ceilings, weekly ceilings, and just longevity at their career, I'm doing that. That is where you should be building the core of your team. It needs to be on the back of wide receivers. And then when you're ready to compete, right, go and get the running backs. Go get Eckler. Go get CMC, the guys that can get you over the top. But again, when you're building your base, it needs to start with the wide receivers. That has to be the core. So ship out these older running backs that might not fit your timeline. Trade them away because people will always pay for them. But the windows are so short, and again, seasons can be taken out from underneath you at a moment's notice, and it was off on full display, right? This season, last season, the season before. It is always very apparent you need to be focusing on wide receivers for your core of your Dynasty team. Move number 4, and this one's one of my favorites, and it's, I think, where you get the biggest edge in Dynasty. Go and trade for players that are coming off of injured seasons or players that just didn't perform, like talented players that did not perform up to expectations. Now, like last week, I dropped 3 wide receivers to trade for. Deontay Johnson falls into this category. Again, you may not think he's good. I do. So I am targeting Deontay Johnson in the leagues that I don't have him because I think what I pay to acquire him is not going to match what he produces, in a season from now. Javonte Williams is another one. Breece Hall, Calvin Ridley, who's not injured but suspended. Russell Wilson, another one at quarterback, just very easy. Jerry Jeudy's another guy. Me and Addison are both really big on this offseason. Those types of players are where you get those seemingly out of nowhere breakouts, can help kind of build a juggernaut. Maybe they don't get to elite status. That's fine. You're finding wide receiver 2s, back end QB 1s. Those types of guys go a very long way to help your roster. It's important that when you're doing this, don't give up insane capital for a player that you don't have to, right? Obviously, everybody's going to want the world. Negotiate people down. Don't automatically just meet them at their price, especially if they're coming off a down season and they're trying to move them. There's going to be a natural discount there anyways. So again, use that to your advantage. Buy up talented players or injured players on down years. And the last one here, and this one's just fun. Start prepping for your rookie draft. We have been talking about the 2023 class for what feels like 2 or 3 seasons now, right? It's going to be the same with the 2024 class. Start prepping now. Look at these players that are out there. Figure out how deep you think this class actually is. Check out DLF. They have rookie rankings from a ton of people. Me and Addison are doing mock drafts. We're going to be doing rookie profiles. Start all of this prep. Even if you're not doing the prep yourself, start consuming rookie content so you get an idea of where players should go, across the industry. How are we valuing and thinking about these guys? And then where do you differ? Like, where do you think we're wrong and you're right? Find those edges. And again, utilize that to either maneuver within your rookie draft, trade out of spots where talent might not be there, or whatever it may be, right? There are a ton of different ways you can attack this rookie draft. Start prepping now, so come May, again, that will be here quickly, but come May, you are ready, and you're just going to kind of dominate and kick the crap out of your league mates because they started prepping the day after the draft instead. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Again, YouTube memberships, check them out. You get additional videos, additional live streams, and a whole lot more as we continue to build out this YouTube membership. So again, $7 a month, $3 a month if you just want to help support us. Check it out, guys. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.